Hello everybody, this is the video for 4-5 additional practice, and I'm going to show a little bit of 4-4. So 4-5 is solving equations with rational numbers. So this is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing with fractions and decimals. So we are going to look at a couple problems here. I did do 1 and 2 in class, so I'm going to go over some ones that I think kids are having a little bit of hard time with, mainly just because of fractions, knowing what to do with denominators and such. So we're going to do number 7. So number 7 we'll go over together. Number 7, the steps that I want kids to follow, what you guys, if you're a kid watching, is to isolate the variable. Okay, and then we're going to look to see what operation is happening to this variable. And I can see this line right here. This is a fraction bar, which also means divide. So this variable is being divided by 9. So I'm going to do its inverse operation, which is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this times 9. Okay, that becomes 1. And what I do to one side, I need to do to the other. So I'm going to multiply this 9.5 times 9. Okay, so this is going to be 9 over 1. So when I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of fractions. That's a lot of work to do. So what I want to notice first is that there is a mixed number. And a lot of the times I can't do anything with a mixed number. I need to make it into an improper fraction first. So we have practiced doing this before. I showed how to do a number bond. So what I'm going to do is pull down the fraction friend first. And then I'm going to use the denominator to count by 2's 9 times. 2 9 times is 18. So 18 halves. I'll add those together to get 19 halves. So now I have changed this one into this one. So I don't need to worry about that 9 halves anymore. Okay, then I'm going to bring over my 9 times 1. And then we'll just go ahead with fractions, multiplying straight across the numerators, straight across the denominators. So I'll do the denominator first. 2 times 1 is 2. And then 19 times 9 is 171. Okay. Now this one is top heavy, so I can see that the numerator is much larger than the denominator, so it's an improper fraction, which can be made into a mixed number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this number to find out what our mixed number is. So it's 171 divided by 2. 2 into 17. 2 times 8 makes 16, with 1 remaining. We'll go down to the next place value and bring it down. 2 goes into 11 5 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Find what's left. Okay, and if we're going to make this a, sorry, I'm trying to get my eraser here. If we're going to make this into a mixed number, then we need to, we need to use the quotient and the divisor and remainder. Ooh, I thought I had my pointer on and I erased everything. We're going to use our quotient, our divisor, and our remainder to make our mixed number. Okay, so what we will do is we will take our quotient, that's our whole number. Then we're going to take the remainder, that's our numerator. And then our divisor right here is our denominator. So we have 85.5. So K equals 85.5. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another one. So really, these problems not so much are solving equations, but it's just using that practice to figure out fractions, decimals, all that good stuff to get the answer. Oops, I deleted everything. Let's go back here. Sorry. All right, let's do, let's see if we can do we'll do this one, number 10. So number 10 says 15 and 95 hundredths equals 3 and 19 hundredths n. Okay, so I am going to isolate the variable just like before. Okay, and then I'm going to ask myself, what operation is happening to the n? Well, it's being multiplied because this one's its coefficient. It's being squished together with multiplication. So if it's being multiplied, I'm going to do its inverse, which is division. And I'm going to use a fraction bar to show division. So 3 and 1900ths divided by 3 and 1900ths is 1. So what I do to one side, I'm going to do to the other. Okay, n is now by itself. We just need to find the quotient. So I'm going to give myself like a little piece of paper here so that I can do this math problem. Okay, we are going to do some dividing with decimals. It tells us 15 and 95 hundredths divided by, so I'm going to write it as a number sentence, divided by 3 and 19 hundredths. So what I've taught you guys to do is to locate the divisor, which is the one that we can't have a decimal in. It's this one. So I need to scoot that out. And what I do to one side, I need to do to the other. So what I'm doing is 1,595 divided by 319. Now you're like, oh my goodness, I can't count by 319s. This is going to take forever. I hate this. Well, we don't really have to count by 319s yet. We can estimate. So what we're going to do is we're going to say this is 300s and this is 1500s. So I really just need to estimate how many times can 300 go into 1500, or how many times can 3 go into 15. Okay, so let's think. 3 goes into 15 5 times. So what I can do is I can try 319 into 1595 5 times. So I don't have to do a bunch of multiplication problems. I've estimated, so I'm going to get pretty close. So I will do 319 times 5. 9 times 5 is 45. That's 5, 9, and then 15. What do you know? I only had to do one problem, and it's because I used estimation. So the answer to n is 5. I think what's getting us bogged down is having to remember to do these skills, but these are all things that we've practiced doing before. So it's just about getting practice, doing it again. We have to try to do the decimals and division. Okay? Let's see one more. We'll try one more. All right, let's see here. We'll do an adding with decimals. Let's see. Let's do 9. Okay, so 9, it says x minus 4 and 34 hundredths is 12 and 85 hundredths. So just like always, isolate your variable. What's happening next to it? Subtraction. I'll do its inverse, which is addition. This becomes 0. So what I do to one side, I need to do to the other. So I'm going to add 4 and 34 hundredths. And what I want you to notice is that when I'm adding, my decimals line up and I have all the same place values. They're all lined up right, nice and neat next to each other. So then I'm going to add 4 plus 5 is 9, 8 plus 3 is 11, carry the 1, 2 and 4 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and 1. Then with adding decimals, we just bring our decimals straight down. So in this case, x is 17 and 19 hundredths. So we can easily do these if we just remember those tiny little things. Adding, line up your decimals, bring it straight down. Oops, sorry, pressing on the wrong part. Bring it straight down. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, but really, you just need to isolate, do the opposite, and then just really, really persevere, stick with it on the math part when you're doing computations. You can do it. You can do it. Okay, bye.